Good afternoon. This is Corky Alexander here for Beginning Guitar, and today we're going to talk about three chords and the truth, uh, the Nashville numbering system, and transposing chords. It sounds like big words, but it's really a simple idea. The idea of three chords and the truth is a quotation by a fella who was trying to describe what country music was. It's also been used to describe rock and roll uh, by Bono and others. The idea is that most songs in the folk, rock, pop, gospel, other categories of American music could be played, possibly boiled down to just three chords. And and if there are turns in there or minors in there, you possibly could get away with not using those. People did this in the church all the time with Amazing Grace. We're just using three chords, but the proper way to play Amazing Grace has minors and things in it. So I want to talk about all that. How to transpose. Let's just imagine that you're coming into a room and there's a group of people there in the gathering, and they're wanting to have a sing-along, okay? You want to be able to find the right pitch for the singers, not necessarily just for you, because you're not there to perform, you're there to accompany a group of people doing a sing-along in this case. And so you want to be able to transpose a song into another key. You might go to sheet music or chord books and find that a song is in a certain key, and when you try to sing it, it's either too high or too low for you. Well, you gotta need to know how to transpose from one key to another key. And in order to do that, you've got to have a sense of the Nashville numbering system. Now, I lived in Tennessee for 22 years, and so I'm proud to be that close to where the universal numbering system for guitar music came from. I did live in Nashville for a period of time, and the interesting thing about Nashville is it's not just country music anymore, but all the music genres have moved there for the most part. Even Peter Frampton lives there and has a studio, for example. But let's say we're in the key of C. And going back to our beginning guitar, you could add a G note there on top of that C. Or not. But anyway, we're in the key of C. The numbering system demands that that be 1 if you're in the key of C. That's or called a tonic chord. 2 would be D. 3 would be E. 4 would be F. 5 would be G. And A would be 6, or in this case of key of C, A minor. Okay, that's your 6. And then your 7 is B. All right, so what this boils down to in most discussions on guitar playing is the 1, the 4, and the 5. That's the three chords that, along with the truth, make up American music. Okay, so the 1 is C in this case. The F is 4, and then the G is 5. Okay. Now, if we want to move to the key of D and transpose, we know that 1 will be D, 4 will be G, and I added a little D note there. And then 5 would be A, and back to 1. Okay? So Amazing Grace would go like this. Let's just go ahead and sing it. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Okay, and I didn't have the minors in there. That whole song was played right there with 3 chords, D, G, and A. The 1, the 4, and the 5. Blues music basically follows the 1, the 4, and the 5. If we're in the key of A, there's a shuffle pattern. Need to be learning that. I'm borrowing all this and then grabbing that note right there. D4. Still 1. Now we go to 4. It's a D chord. Now we go to the 5. 4. 1. 5. Okay, so if you get the idea there, all songs can be broken down like that. So by using the Nashville numbering system, and this was perfected by Charlie McCoy, the great harmonica player in Nashville. So, you know, playing guitar can be very simple, and you build up your touch for the guitar. And you know, I want to say a thing about these shredders. I get kind of exhausted looking. You know, I've been looking at music videos on YouTube, and most people make it look really complicated. But anything that the public can't comprehend is just noise or it's sound. And there's a place for sound, you know, dive bombs on the guitar and stuff like that. When Jimi Hendrix did the Star Spangled Banner, he did a lot of sounds. If you were to try to ascertain the pitch or the tone or the notes that he was playing, a lot of that is sounds. And there's a lot of that going on with these lightning fast pickers called shredders. They're playing a million notes and they're playing them very fast, even in beginning videos, you know, which it would make my head swim if I was back in the day, you know, starting out. You don't have to be real fast. What you want to be is you want to be accessible. You want to make the instrument or music in general appealing to the people around you. You know, like Johnny Cash's famous lick and chords, and you know, Johnny Cash was the king of this. That touched more lives than Eruption by Van Halen. I mean, you know, I love, you know, rest in peace, Eddie Van Halen, and the Eruption's great, but Eruption's a lot like 4th of July fireworks in terms of electric guitar playing. And the electric guitar has developed into quite an extension of a machine in terms of the way it's played and the sounds, and I'm into some of that. But think about Johnny Cash. You rarely ever saw him play more than 3 chords. And often he was just a 1, 4, and 5. I'm in the key of E, so 1 is E. I'm doing an alternating bass. There's your 4, 1, 5. And Johnny Cash sometimes will slip that B7 up. And so, you know, don't be afraid to be simple. Don't be afraid to be accessible. And don't be ashamed to be a 3-chord type person, because people can comprehend that. You know, they can't altogether appreciate lots of complex turns and things like that. If you want to do that and embellish it for your own creativity, that's another thing. But anyway, 3 chords in the truth, the Nashville numbering system. Again, if we're in the key of G, G is 1, A is 2, and you know, I don't know this all that great, so I'm having to transpose it in my mind as I look at my paper. B is 3, C is 4, D is 5, and then 6 would be E, and 7 would be F sharp, I believe. Yep. We'll play it like that. I'd be interested to know, as a beginning guitar player, are you getting that F chord down? Because that's the bear right there. And you can also add a C note to that. Add a hammer on. Alternating bass. Walk up. Alternating bass on C, F. 3 chords in the truth. Have a good one.